was a socialist meet and greet in D.C. AOC hosting a breakfast with Zohran the Destroyer. Let's call it Coffee with the Commie. Dems lined up to schmooze with the radical who could be the next mayor of New York City. And from the looks of it, he's already made some comrades.
When people get to know him as a person, when people get to know us as real people, what they find kind of surprises them.
He's bringing anybody who can see the reality of the success of his candidacy and his campaign together. It's just beautiful to have someone who is so authentic. You know, that's money cannot buy that.
This guy is not a communist. He's not a socialist. He's an advocate for small c capitalism.
But a few Dems aren't ready to join the Red Parade just yet. Zohran still hasn't gotten very important endorsements from Hopeless Hakeem or Crying Chuck Schumer.
Why are you not endorsing the guy that won the Democratic primary in a contested election in your backyard?
Well, I look forward to sitting down and talking to him. I didn't get involved in that primary election, and I don't know him well.
We were just learning skills from him, communication skills. It was not about whether we're supporting him or not.
I actually raised many of those concerns with him directly. I said, you have a lot of healing to do with the Jewish community. Many of your words have been hurtful and hateful to people in their interpretation of it.
And President Trump had some fun with Zohran's bagels and Bolsheviks.
Look, he's a communist. I don't think our country is ready for a communist, but we're going to see. And I don't think that race is over yet either. You do have a couple of people running against, and it'll be an interesting thing. Things are coming out about him which aren't good.
And so, Dana, the Democrats didn't really have a big red parade when they brought him in through the back door.
Well, they changed the location. And then they're like, wait, we got to get, she's in a different location. So she had to go. She got there. And the other thing that they did is those members that you saw came out the front door. That AOC and Mamdani left out the back door, right? He doesn't want to take any questions. Debbie, I can't remember who it was. Was it Debbie Dingle or maybe it was Prayal Paul who said, people just need to get to know him better and then they're going to like him better. Okay, well, here's the thing. His meeting with business leaders, Wall Street guys, did not go well. And that's where he's pledged to stop saying globalize the intifada. It wasn't because it was like at the meeting with the Jewish community. That meeting didn't go well for him either. So I'm not buying it that the more you get to know him, the more you actually like him. I think that the more you get to know him, the more you are maybe terrified about it. But I wanted to also say this. So AOC and Zohran are kind of similar in that she caught the establishment candidate flat-footed. And he saw an opportunity and he zoomed in. Okay, that's great. They connected with voters where they are. They were young and fun, and they were talking to them on social media, TikTok, whatever it is. But here's the difference. AOC is one of 435 members of Congress. If he wins, and it's likely that he will, then he will be in charge of the largest city in the country, the most important city, I think, financially in the world. And it's 8 million residents, and that is different. Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer, they're running scared from this kid. And the tail is definitely wagging the dog.
The tail is definitely wagging the dog. Look, Zohran Mamdani is a destroyer. That much is clear. But I really want to hone in on one of those representatives who said that she's really impressed with his authenticity.
Just beautiful to have someone who is so authentic. You know, that's money cannot buy that.
You see, money can't buy authenticity. Is that so? Because she does not give the same praise to Donald Trump's authenticity. No. It's only authentic. Authenticity is only good when we do it. Okay? If you guys do it, it's hateful. But when we do it, it's endearing. That's first. Second, did you hear what she said about the business community? He's not going to stop, or he's going to stop using the term or stop encouraging or stop people from, using the term globalize Antifada. He's going to stop encouraging it. He's going to discourage people from using that phrase. He told to the business community, not to the Jewish community. And some of you be thinking, well, Stu, it's the same, one and the same. No, it's not. Although you have business owners who are Jewish, the vast majority of the Jewish community are not heads of Pfizer. Okay? So this is what you should be asking. So he comes to the business community, and then you have congressmen saying, oh no, he loves capitalism, when he told you flat out, no, he doesn't. He said it flat out. I don't like capitalism. I'm a socialist. He's made this abundantly clear. That meeting, by the way, with all the schmoozing and stuff, that was a closed meeting. You know, with business leaders. In other words, you were not invited. It was closed door. Even CNN couldn't get in. What does that tell you? Why are you closing it off? I thought you were for all New Yorkers.
Is the tail wagging the dog, Jessica?
A little bit. Woof, woof. I think that his meeting with the business leaders was the most important thing that he's done thus far. And there was one promise that they were looking for that they'd get. He's saying that he's not going to reduce NYPD headcount and has said very nice things about Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch. It was also, I believe her dad was at the meeting, the business leaders meeting as well. So that's something that has kind of allayed fears there.
You do understand him saying that and then not doing it. He has said repeatedly, we got to get rid of the police. But then he gets in front of an audience and says, no, I've had a change of heart. Literally saying that these people are garbage, the police officers. I mean, we've already had defund the police. How did that work out?
But Catherine Wild, who's a power broker, they call her the CEO of the Partnership for New York, and she's kind of the liaison between public servants and the business community, said that the crowd was very guarded, recognized how smart he is, what a good communicator he is, still has a lot of concerns, but that there are a lot of comparisons that they can make to de Blasio, that the policies are actually not that different. And they did survive the de Blasio era. So people are trying to focus on what he can actually accomplish versus what he's talking about. Like, he can't raise our taxes. The state has to raise our taxes. Where he can really do a lot of damage is in the world of real estate.
Which is why landowners are leaving. That's where the damage will be done. Grocery stores in New York City. Can he make those into government run? By the way, that's what he's going to try to do. And what of those grocery stores? How are they going to be able to compete with the government?
And so people who work in the real estate sector are the ones that are particularly concerned with that. As for Trump getting involved, I thought it was interesting that he seemed to throw his support behind Cuomo and not behind Adams. Cuomo's obviously, to take whatever he can get at this particular moment. But I agree with Dana. It feels as if Mamdani is going to be the guy.
Well, it's very nice of him to say that he won't fire any cops after he called them racist savages, isn't that?
Racist savages. But you know what? on further reflection, I don't believe that anymore. I think they were all altruistic. I don't know what part of me called them racist savages. I don't know how it was like I don't know why I would say something as outlandish. I've totally changed my mind.
Nice.
And he said he wanted to completely defund NYPD. I think it's interesting watching national Democrats trying to make him national already, even though he hasn't won the mayoral race. Obviously, New York City is a big player in the world stage, but they're trying to already get him to his next gig. And you have these Democrats coming out of this meeting saying he's a small C capitalist. He says that he hates capitalism and that he doesn't like it and that he is more of a socialist. And C is also the first letter of the word communist, which the president has pointed out. I'm very curious about what they discussed behind closed doors, whether they talked about whether suicide bombing is legitimate resistance, whether globalizing the Intifada is coming to Washington, D.C., which means blowing up cafes, blowing up concerts, et cetera, young people losing their lives for the sake of a political movement. And I doubt that they talked about communism as a movement that has killed over 100 million people throughout the course of history. So these are the ideas they don't want to really talk about, which is why they're changing the language to things like small C capitalist. But these are the things that he has said he believes in. Now he's trying to change his tune that he needs because he needs to get elected. But there's a lot of tape of him pushing these ideas and saying he's not a small C capitalist. He is for these very radical ideas. And that's why Jeffries and Chuck Schumer aren't completely endorsing him, because they would be endorsing these insane ideas, which are completely antithetical to even the Democratic Party's position on a number of these issues.
That's the reason that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries will not endorse him. I don't believe they will ever endorse him. Because the second they do, they will be tied to everything that he has said. Now, the whole globalize Intifada, the reason that he won't denounce it, he says, I'm going to discourage people from using that phrase. Are you now? You know why he wouldn't denounce it? If someone were to come to me and say, you know, Stu, when you say that you believe Jesus is the only way to God, that's very offensive to some people. People find that very off-putting. You claiming that Jesus is the Christ and the only way to God. We need you to denounce that. Just denounce it right now. Guess what I would say? I would say go pound sand. I would be outright. And by the way, I wouldn't mince words like he did. I would actually say outright, no, I will never denounce that, because this is what I actually believe. The reason Zohran Mamdani did not denounce it is because he believes it.